and hopefully that has it fixed. Now, this new one that I'm putting in is something that I had built. It has DDP 12.5 mil plungers in it. The pump was built by Seth Farrell. I'll show specs and stuff on it, but it's a pretty rowdy pump. Well, way more pump than what this really needs. But we're gonna wick this thing up. I'm gonna put bigger compounds back on it this year, just because it's not fast enough to suit me. So let's get into it. I got the injection pump in. I actually swapped another set of injectors into this thing just to make sure it wasn't an injector problem. And, well, misfire's still there, or the stutter, or whatever you want to call it. So obviously I've hurt this. I'm not sure what happened yet, but topic. Well, I'm pretty sure something, I don't know if I shortened a rod or if I hurt a cylinder, or I don't know, because it had good compression. But it's got a funny stutter, misfire. It runs clean when you're driving around, but it's got a stutter. And I put fuel filters in it. I swapped the fuel, like it's got new fuel in it. I swapped the fuel filters, got a good fuel pressure. We swapped the pump, compression, injectors. Yeah, something is wrong. I don't know what's wrong just yet. We'll have to get into it. And I even reset the valve lash. The valve lash wasn't off. Well, it was a little tiny bit loose, but nothing extravagant, like maybe a thou or two. And I haven't set it in a long time since, well, I don't even know if I set it since I built the engine, to be totally honest with you. So we're taking the engine out, and we're not putting a 12 valve back in. We are going to take this ppump 6.7 that was in the first gen, and it is going to go in here. Not quite as rowdy. Well, I shouldn't say that to start with. I don't have a smaller set of injectors, so we're putting a pretty decent sized set of injectors in it, but I need this truck, so if I need to tow something, that's what I use this truck for, and it's my spare vehicle, or is my vehicle, depending on how you look at it. So I guess we're into a long weekend. I'm taking Friday off, which is tomorrow, so we're Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. Spend a couple days at home, and we're going to swap an engine. The engine is basically ready to come out now. All I have to do is pull the engine mount bolts. Basically, the engine mount's off, for you guys that can see there. The engine mount has to get unbolted, so these 4 bolts, and then the 4 bolts on this side. And put the engine crane in there, and yard it out. So, it's not a very long process. I've been working on it I started at 5:30 and it is now 7:30, so I'm 2 hours in. So, not too bad. All right, signing off for now. See you guys tomorrow. If you guys are wondering, I think... fast unit back on my 1995 Dodge truck with the Cummins in it, which has had one on it before, but I took it off. Won't get into that. Anyways, I have a 140 gallon unit to put on the truck. This is the kit. Now I do, because the truck has had one on before, there's some stuff that I don't have to do. It does already have a sump, which I personally like the sump better than a draw straw. Completely up to you what you want to do. But I do already have a sump, so I don't have to install that. See, it's oily from undercoating. And then I also have the fuel line that runs front to back. I have a 2-wire hydraulic line that's rated for diesel fuel running back and forth with crimped ends. I personally like doing it that way better myself, but there again, completely up to you. The equipment that's supplied, there's nothing wrong with it. So do as you may, that's just how I do it. The kit comes with a draw straw. And like I said, if you want to do the draw straw, not very hard to do it. I think maybe the next time I do one, I'll show that in a separate video. I do have a video for doing the sump, which I will put a link in the description for that if you want to see that video.
And when I do a draw straw, I'll put a link in the description for that as well. Haven't done one for a while, but just thought I would mention that on this. So this kit is for a 12 valve P-pump truck. I will put these brackets and stuff all mount onto the pump. I will get that all mounted and show you guys where it mounts. Show you guys where it mounts in the truck. We'll get that hooked up, run the wiring. One thing that I do like that Fast has done is they have upgraded their connector to a bigger connector. I really do like that connector much better than the old Deutz connector they used to use because they used to melt. So that's nice. Upgrading, innovating. You know, there's a problem, they fix it. You know, it's can't really say bad about company. And the old age question is that why did I buy a Fast, not an AirDog? Honestly, I've been using Fast for many years. Anytime I have had a problem, they've rectified the problem for me. And I can't say so much for AirDog. Now, that was years ago. Those guys probably don't even work there anymore. But that's the reason. I honestly, if I couldn't have found a Fast unit in stock as fast as I did, I would have bought an AirDog. But I honestly didn't even look because I found the Fast unit that I wanted. So that's what I bought. So I think it's personal preference more than anything, myself personally. But do as you may. That is a question that I do get asked. So let's get some brackets and stuff on, and unit in. There's a couple things that I wanted to show. I did the wiring. I'm not sure what I'm doing with the wiring yet. You have to power this wire. So this is the trigger wire that actually turns the Fast unit on. Trigger wire for your relay. Now, usually they want you to put it in the cab, the fuse panel, with the, what did I do with that? Right here. Basically just a piggyback for your in the fuse. And I used to have it that way. I don't think I'm going to put it that way again. I need a relay out here anyway, keyed on power for powering a couple things. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire that up, and then I'll just wire into that. So it'll be basically an accessory relay. I don't have one of those at the moment. There is other things you can hook it into. You could hook it into your power wire for your pulse solenoid on the P-pump, if that's what you want to do. Lots of different ways to do it, but that's how they want you to do it. There is extra wire, that type of stuff. And like I said, so you're going to be pulling up your line, usually on a P-pump. Hopefully you can see in there. There's this fitting right here. Goes into the P-pump. The kit comes with a fitting that goes in there. It is one in this little bag. This right here. This is the fitting that's usually going to go in there. Mine already had one in it, so I don't have to put one in. Mine's actually a bigger one, but that's the fitting that goes in there. And now this bunch of stuff here is how you have to unhook your original fuel filter. So let's just take a quick look at that on this engine. So what they want you to do is you're going to take this fuel filter off, and then you have to take the fuel pump off. You will need a block-off plate. A block-off plate that fits that is one for a big block Chevy. So you can buy a fancy one. You can buy a cheap one from any auto parts store that has, you know, some aftermarket bits and pieces. Just thought I'd mention that to you. Now, what this stuff does here is you're going to have the line that comes off the P-pump, off your return, which is going to come here, and then it usually runs back into... What's it go into on the 12 valve? Oh no, it usually just comes off the P-pump and goes back to the tank because your return line on your injector goes here. Now what you're going to do here is you're going to pull this all off, and what this kit does, which is not always, I've done it a different way. I've done it a few different ways, but if you take this fitting, it's a compression fitting, you cut this line off, and then this goes on here. And then you take this T, your line that comes here, going to go in one side of the T, come out, go back to the tank, and then this fitting is going to go in, is going to thread into here, and then it hooks to that. Basically just ties the return line together. But like I said, this will be out of your way. If you guys want, I can show you how I usually do it. Actually, I guess I will be doing it in this truck with, I think, this engine when we fix it. Or whatever's wrong with it. I don't even know what's wrong with it yet. I think. So maybe we'll do it on that, because I have this stuff. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So I'll probably... So let's lift her up here. So now I run my wiring and my fuel line. You can see my fuel line. This is my fuel line here. This is my fuel line. My wiring down across, it's got P-clamps on it. It is wrapped. And then it comes down across, goes to the fast unit. You guys see me put the bracket together. So this bolt right here is the one that holds the fast unit up. And I like to adjust it pretty much as high as I can. I might actually adjust it up a little bit higher. So then this, obviously, this is the one that goes to the front. It's on the top. And then your R for return. This line goes around and goes into my original style filler neck. This is the way they used to do it. Now, if you're doing a sump, you're going to have to do something like this or tie it into the top of the tank. What lots of guys do if they're doing the sump, actually, is they'll pull the tank out, which if you do the sump, you don't have to pull the tank, which kind of sucks because they're doing this, is you need to feed your return back in. And it is a lot of return. So I used to do it, that's how we always used to do it, was like that. That's how the kits came. Obviously, they don't come that way anymore. Maybe that's something I should make. Anyways, tie that in, and then your feed from your tank, obviously there's going to be that line, because I just reused mine, and goes into the back of the fast unit. These are not actual fast filters. The reason I use these ones, these are just like a generic replacement. And don't mind the two lines that aren't hooked up. I have to join those together. They're from my slip tank in the back. This one I just put on the truck, and it was on the unit that was back here for you guys that follow when I had the dual tank set up for the black diesel. With this engine, I'm not going to be running black diesel, so it was just easy to unhook it. But the one filter, I literally just put it in there. It was in there for like 2 miles. So I put that on there, and then a normal filter that I would usually use. I'm just going to put the new filters that came on the pump or with the pump. I'm just going to throw in the back of the truck, so I have spares. I like to keep spares. I don't know if there's anything else. I know it's kind of not an install per se, and I didn't show everything, but it's hard to show that stuff without good lighting and somebody following you around. I don't have that yet. So let me know if there's something that I'm missing on it. And if you guys are wondering why I bought a new one, I do have a couple fast units, but listen to this. For you guys that have had a fast unit, the pump is running right now. The new pumps are super quiet compared to the old ones. So that is the reason that I really wanted to put a new pump on it, because it's way quieter. You know, the other ones, well, I'll do a video clip, maybe a clip of this and a clip of the 200-gallon, 220, I think. Yeah, 220 unit that I have. It's way, way louder. Just is what it is. Newer technology, updating stuff, that type of stuff. So, yeah, just thought I'd say that. We're going to see if this thing will fire up. Now, do note that I do not have a downpipe on it yet. So it is going to be noisy, and it's going to be smoking right here. So don't freak out when it's smoking and carrying on. It has no downpipe on it at all, because I don't know what I did with the downpipe. I have a downpipe for this. I just don't know what I did with it. I'm going to have to look for it. Around here somewhere.
Ooh, she horny.
All right, we're doing the engine break-in on the new engine. We had to fix an oil leak, but just because I didn't tighten a fitting up.
Out there and see if it just works better in general. They seem to run smoother for whatever reason. It's kind of a light color though. And just the juices from the build, do you think?
Well, that has been hot.
Yeah.
So I imagine it's got a pretty aggressive cross hatching too, so it's probably going to burn a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially until the rain
Wish they'd repave the street like that.
Yeah.
You could definitely daily this thing and not have to spew everywhere and still get around quite fast.
Or it used to be in the truck though.
Well, we went for round 1, we're going for round 2. Found some boost leaks and another oil leak. I'm gonna go see how it is now. It was a pretty significant boost leak, so we'll see if it's a little less smoky than the first.
And we also fixed the.
Oh yeah, got a boost gauge now.
Boost gauge. Hooked up the right line.
Hold on while we go through Potholeville.
Actually, funny. That thing's actually pretty good for that.
Is it?
Watch the
kind of
video.
steadies it pretty well, eh?
Yeah, you watch the video, it won't be as bad as you think.
Yeah, nice. Rickety ass in it. Double the response there, eh?
Is there a trailer sitting there?
No, not when we were here last. I don't remember. We made the turn without having to get close to anything. Yeah.
I wasn't planning on having to.
That's a fun truck.
No brakes.
Yeah, no, it was had a good bit of get up with the boost leak, but that's yeah. Oh yeah. had a local track to go to just to have fun at like we used to. Yeah, government always messing things up. Guy backed out of here with a nice sounding old mid-80s Ford truck today. That went by.
That's a bigger turbocharger than what we had on the first gen.
Yeah.
This one's got a friend.
Man, this thing's a unit. That is awesome. About 37s?
Yeah, 35s.
Or 35s at 12.5 wide. Just blow them off.
Really, the only thing that would make this better would be 5K springs.
Yeah.
I honestly wish I would have
Yeah. The same revs you had in it when it was in the first gen.
Yeah. At least it runs.
Yeah. It runs good. It's a good strip over there.
All right, so test drive was good. We got a few more things to do, fix up. I think I'm going to send the turbocharger out and have serviced. It has a little bit of play in it that I don't like, so I think probably going to do that. But anyways, everything seems to be working good. We got no oil leaks now. I got to do blow-by. I have to put a temperature gauge because how I was going to do the temperature gauge does not work. So we're going to fix that. Maybe the turbocharger. I got to redo our intake pipe. This was just temporary. I'm going to redo something for that, get the filter up over here somewhere. And I don't know what else. Oh, I'm going to pull some fuel out of it. It's got too much fuel. So right now it's got an 8x10 in it. I think I'm going to do a new style of injectors in it. These were just injectors I had. And I'm going to I'll put a smaller delivery valve in it because it's a 190 one right now. And I'm going to put a 180 one in it because it's got way more fuel than what I need for what we're doing. And that's easy to do. Oh, also the connector tubes do not have edge filters, so I'm going to pull them out as well. So as it stands right now, success, no problems. Just going to pull some fuel out of it, do some stuff that needs to be done or needed to be done that's not done yet. But the truck is running and I can drive it if I need to. And also we can get that back inside the garage now. So Shay and I are going to do that right now, and then we're going home.